Do you think a person's race should be used to harm that person?
No, Senator.
How about you, Judge Ramirez?
No, Senator.
Okay. Judge Alba, do you think that a person's race should be used to help that person?
No, Senator.
Okay. How about you, Judge?
No, Senator.
Okay. Judge Alba, why is that?
Well, as a legal standard, Senator, we try to look at people just based on either if we're in a criminal position, we're looking at them for what they've done. In a civil matter, it usually doesn't come into account. So, and also it's something they don't necessarily control, so it seems unfair.
Okay. Judge Ramirez?
The Constitution provides for equal protection for all.
Okay. Judge Alba, this has been in the news a lot lately, and you'll probably see it if you're confirmed to the Court of Appeal.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hot News Today. Today we're diving into an intense exchange from the Senate Judiciary Committee, where Senator John Kennedy questioned Judge Alba and Judge Ramirez. This is about interpreting the Constitution, the role of race in legal decisions, and states defying the Supreme Court. Buckle up, this one gets philosophical and political.
Tell me about the Dormant Commerce Clause.
Senator, I'm somewhat familiar with the Commerce Clause, which is found in Article 1 of the Constitution.
It was a big Supreme Court case that just came out of your state.
And I apologize, Senator. In my 11 years of practice and my 5 years on the bench, I have not dealt with the Dormant Commerce Clause, but if I am so fortunate enough to be confirmed and have to deal with it in the future, I would certainly research it and, be prepared.
All right, then just tell me about the Commerce Clause in general.
So my understanding about the Commerce Clause, like I stated, Senator, is that it is under the Article 1 of the Constitution, and it allows the legislature to create laws that allow for movement and things related to commerce in the United States. So anything crossing state lines, things like that.
So it allows Congress to regulate commerce.
Yes.
Between whom?
Between states, for example? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anybody else?
Kennedy starts with a curveball. He asks, should race harm or help someone? Both judges say no. This challenges race-based policies like affirmative action. Kennedy's theme, neutrality under the Constitution, equal protection, no preferences, just fairness. Next up, Kennedy hits Judge Alba with a question about the Dormant Commerce Clause, and things get awkward. She admits she hasn't dealt with it in her career. Fair enough. Not every judge has handled every clause, but Kennedy's not letting it slide. He asks her to explain the basic Commerce Clause. She responds, it allows Congress to regulate commerce between states. Good start, but when he asks between whom else? Silence. Now here's why this matters. The Dormant Commerce Clause is about preventing states from enacting protectionist laws that interfere with national commerce. It's not just academic, it affects everything from internet sales tax to environmental regulation. If you're getting value from this breakdown, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Let's grow this channel and keep these discussions alive. Let's dive into the Fourth Amendment and state resistance. What if Florida passed a law rejecting the Supreme Court's interpretation of the Fourth Amendment? Would that be legal? Judge Alba hesitates. She needs more time. Kennedy reminds her the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law. He cites Pruneyard Shopping Center v. Robbins. State constitutions can go further but can't undercut federal protections.
You're familiar, Judge, I'm sure, with the Fourth Amendment and the warrant requirement. What's, just for the record, what's the warrant requirement?
The warrant requirement requires, so Fourth Amendment says that we are not subject to unreasonable searches and seizures. So in order for someone to, for example, enter our home, there needs to be a warrant. And in order to get a warrant, an officer has to, under oath, state that there is probable cause to believe that either a crime has been committed or there is a crime afoot, and that they have to describe with particularity the place to be searched.
And that's based on the Supreme Court's interpretation of the U.S. Constitution, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's suppose that Florida passed a law and said, we don't agree with the Supreme Court's interpretation of the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment and the warrant requirement. We're really concerned about the power of the state, and we're going to ignore the warrant requirement that no police officer has the right to come in your home, probable cause or otherwise, unless you agree to it. Would that be legal?
Well, Senator, I'd have to, it's somewhat of a hypothetical question, but I would,
It's a very real question. Happened before. Would that be legal?
I would have to look at it a little bit more carefully, but, you know, on first blush, my concern would be that under the Article 6, the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Yeah.
So we have to follow it.
These questions aren't just theoretical. Judges could decide major civil rights, privacy, and federalism cases. Kennedy's method may seem tough, but he's preparing them for appellate courts. Love or hate his style, the stakes are sky high. So, what's your take? Was Kennedy being too harsh? Or was he doing his duty, making sure nominees understand the Constitution? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share if you found this insightful. More legal deep dives and political showdowns every week. Stay curious and stay informed.